The time that you have on stage, everything else goes away. Your regular life might be tough. You know, you might have gone through a breakup. I'm saying you, and I mean me. You might have gone through a breakup, or you might not know what you're doing in life right now. But while you're on stage, it's your time, and those people are listening to you, and you get to do exactly what you wanted to, and it's the happiest part of your day. In 31 years, 31 chances to hang my hat where I belong, to find a place that I could call home. Yeah, ice cream's a metaphor, making your way. You hang your hat where you'd most like to stay, but of course you all know that. You want to be in the video? No. I'm Justin Trawick. I'm from Leesburg, Virginia, and now I live down the street here in Arlington. You know, I've never been the world's greatest guitar player. I'm a storyteller that has figured out how to play guitar to accompany my stories. I listened to a lot of G-Love and the Special Sauce when I was a kid, which is why I have an upright bass player now. So the music really was very kind of hip-hoppy when I was a kid, and really from 2004 to today, I don't know, 12 years later, has really turned more of into an Americana kind of thing. About a year or two ago, I started calling the band Justin Trawick and the Common Good. I dropped the drums from the regular part of our band, and we really became kind of like an Americana, bluegrassy kind of band. I can't say bluegrass because a real bluegrass band would hate it if they heard me say bluegrass, because we're not really bluegrass. But there is a lot of influence in that regard, but still keep a lot of the hip-hop and the more of the urban feel.
He hits rock bottom as his friends cock-blocking. All he wants to do is just to get up and leave, but he lost his last because he was asleep at the wheel. Big deal, he's at his 18th drink. Yeah, the alcohol must have really made him think that he was Superman with a body of steel. Now all he thinks about is how the kid must feel. This is a world never living.
I was really trying to figure out another way for me and my friends to get out of the bar scene. This venue, Iota, or the 930 Club, or somewhere in between, like the Rock and Roll Hotel, all those places, it's up to you as the artist. They don't have built-in crowds. It's up to you as the artist to bring them in. And if you as the singular artist can't draw 200 people to Iota, or 300 people to Rock and Roll Hotel, or 1,200 people to the 930 Club, then there's essentially no way that you'll ever get in. The 9 was this way for us to mathematically figure out ways to get into these venues where, with the help of 9 different people, just as an example, if we were to each draw 15 people, that'd be 135 people in the room. And you can count on your hand right now, on 3 hands, how many friends that you could easily try to get to come out to one of your shows. Far more manageable than getting 135 people on your own. And so that's worked really well. I mean, that went from being a little side project to now having shows all the way from Boston down to Atlanta, having a residency once a month in New Orleans, and doing shows in San Diego, LA, and San Francisco. It's gotten us opportunities that none of us really could have gotten on our own, and a lot of fans of not only just the 9, but people that have come to 9 shows have now become fans of the individuals, including me, that they've seen, which is great.
Remember everyone that you've ever met before. Maybe not the names, but the faces you'll always store inside your head. You like to think that you're a kind and gentleman. You'd like to think that everything will go as planned. Where do you go? What do you do? What do you say when you get there? How do you know? How can you tell?
I think sometimes the only way to really get known is to just play as much as you possibly can and get as much name recognition as you possibly can, so that when people one day are looking for something to do and they're going through the Washington Post, weekend section, all the listings, they're like, Justin Trawick. I haven't seen him, but I've heard his name so much, and that's my goal.
The circus life was not for me. I had to try, but now I see I was meant for something else. and a cold wind blows upon this stage, and the microphone begins to age. There's no making time stand still, 'cause it never will. Take your hands off of my eyes.
I have a song called All the Places That I've Been. That is a song that was inspired by my 96-year-old grandmother. She just told me these really, really great stories, and I kind of compiled this song. It's about the general type of person that grew up with her in that time span. My mind is failing, and I think my skin is growing thin, and I wonder if I remember all those places I have been. And I ain't walked tall in ages, and my back just don't bend that way, and my hair was once receding, but now it's all gone away. Born in Oklahoma, on a farm outside of town, and I spent my days out wandering in the fields behind our house, and I wondered what was out there beyond the fences of our home. And I left town for the army when I turned 18 years old. I remember what it felt like as I raced onto the shore. The cool breeze and the salt air, June 6th, 1944. And I watched my friends get mowed down by the Mausers on the hill. And I don't know how I made it, but I thank God that I did. I found myself near DC when the war was finally done, and I got myself a family, a wife and 3 young little ones, and I ran for public office, becoming mayor of my town, and my parents stood right by me, and my wife said she was proud. We lived through the Truman Doctrine as Jackie took the field. The Rosenbergs were sentenced. Segregation was repealed. The roses sat in silence, and Elvis sang a song. And the Cuban Missile Crisis marked the final days of John. And the Beatles crossed the ocean, and Dr. King was shot and killed. And Nixon left his office whole as the radio star was killed. And the Challenger exploded, and Oklahoma cried. And 13 people died by 2 troubled kids and Columbine. And New York City's finest and bravest of them all climbed the city's towers minutes before they fall. And I remember what it felt like as my family stood and stared, because my son was of the bravest with those heroes climbing stairs.
I feel my mind is failing. I think my skin is growing thin. And I wonder if I'll remember all those places I've been. New York City. Oh, I fucked it up.
That fucking jacket hurts.